Yo, what up? It's Crew, also known as Araneae Storm, checking in for the Uranian series. I am your Cosmic Rootwork astrologist specializing in Mars activations as well as North Node and South Node consultations. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can hit me up at araneastorm.wix.com/info, and you can hit me up on all social media at araneastorm. All right, everything is all below. All right, from the tapestries to the bottles at the shop, you feel me, to the Papyrus paper if you would like that as well too. And also I think the Mars activations, of course, you know what I mean. All that information is below. It's getting to a point where it's been so much stuff that I'm just like, I can't do this no more. Like y'all just gotta go to my stuff and check it out, you feel me? So we gonna get it popping. We talking about Uranus and Sagittarius today. Ooh, let's talk about Uranus first before we talk about Sagittarius. All right. I'm getting my hair retwisted, y'all. I tried to do the free form and stuff, but I need a fresh retwist, baby. I need freshness. All right. So I just looked at my hair and I was just like, I need the fresh retwist, poppy. All right. So if you're just following along, shout out to you. But also, if you are Uranus and Taurus, shout out to you too. Taurus, Uranus and Sagittarius, shout out to you. I don't know why I want to say Uranus and Taurus. We are going through a Uranus and Taurus transit right now, so you definitely want to check that out, because collectively, if you're watching this is what we're going through, so it could give you a little bit of insight what we'll be going through for the next 6 years, I think, at this point. 6 or 5 more years, I think, because it's been in since 2019. So yeah, but yeah, so check it out. So to my Uranus and Sagittarius babies, let's talk about Uranus first. What is the energy of Uranus? Uranus is rules over Uranus. He rules over Aquarius, which is this energy that is electrifying. Okay. This is where we talk about internet. This is when we talk about the progression of humanity. All right. Technology. You feel me? This is the scientist, the alchemist. You feel me? This is the humanitarianism and the collective consciousness. Also, as well as the ascended masters. Or I would call Pisces is ascended masters. Uranus or an Aquarius energy is the upper echelon, the council, you feel me, before you get to Pisces, before you ascend to that next level. Okay, so when we move that energy and we combined Sagittarius in that energy, the first thing that I thought in my mind was this song that Nipsey Hussle is on, or his song called Picture Me Rolling, and one line that's in there that he says is, I'm feeling connected to God. I'm trying to get closer. That's the energy that I think of when I think of Uranus and Sagittarius. This cycle went on for... This cycle, we are not even in Mercury retrograde. I don't know why I'm flipping over my words. I think maybe because Mars just entered Gemini and I'm just like right now. So this cycle entered November 17th, 1981 to February 17th, 1988. So this was not only the remnants of the AIDS epidemic, but this was also the crack epidemic, you know. So it's a very interesting time, because I don't know why this just popped into my head, and I didn't even write it down, but this just really pops into my head. The U.S. is a Sagittarius rising. You feel me? The war on drugs was rapid. Sagittarius energy is rapid. It's mutable fire, so it spreads like wildfire. You feel me? And there was this war on drugs that happened in the U.S. that literally broke up families. And this is also the remnants of Scorpio. So just think about Uranus in Scorpio moving to Sagittarius. So this is the remnants of what happened at that time, of people going from this rise of togetherness, coming together, trying to, build the system or overthrow the system to make new systems that was actually more sufficient, or I wouldn't even say sufficient because that isn't even a word, that served the betterment of the people than just the you know, quote unquote powers that be. You feel me? And it broke a lot of communities down in this energy. And I'm not to say that Sagittarius wants to break all this energy down at all, but this was the rapid spread wildfire. There was definitely still collective organizations and things that were in place, but a lot of that stuff broke down, especially the middle 80s. After all of that stuff hit, it was just too many hits to the community. And I'm not saying things didn't keep going, because the 90s was another resurgence, and we'll talk about that when my generation came into play, but we'll talk about that too. But it was definitely took a major hit on the U.S. as a whole. It was very shocking on the U.S. being a Sagittarius rising, and it came out of nowhere. So a lot of people started having premonitions before this happened. You know, Sagittarius is a very prophetic sign, you know, and being able to have premonitions of things before they happen. People knew and could feel that there was something going on in the air before it actually went down in the DMs, and it did. Okay. Higher education, traveling the long distance. So there was a lot of, specifically, you know, from what I know, there was a lot of Pan-Africanism, and just pan all across the board, people connecting from different cultures, religions, places, people flying from different, you know, communities to go into other communities. It kind of had that Libra diplomatic kind of energy to it, but just in a different time period. People would physically started learning. This is when we started talking about more astral projection. When people started talking about, you know, ways to communicate in different portals, in different realms, with different people, in different places, all over the world. So it was a very interesting time to be alive. Very, very interesting time to be alive. This is when people's inner rebel really started to shine through, even through dealing with, even through dealing with the, deception of a lot of the systems that had already been in place. You know, people were still trying to make things move forward within this time. A lot of education, people connecting to their higher selves, and people connecting to their higher mind to try to figure out not only just new ways to move things forward, but being able to I think honestly this generation was the connector. Of course, it's the connector between Uranus and Scorpio and Uranus and Capricorn, but it was the middle ground. It set the middle ground for what we were really seeing and what we were really looking at through time. You know what I mean? I feel like this is when the patterns, I know for me, since I've been alive, I can't say that for the generations before, but when the patterns really started to like come forth, you know, people started talking more about astrology. People started tapping more deeper after Uranus and Scorpio into their spirituality, into their roots, where they're actually from, where they, you know what I mean? This was that energy. Also going against the grain, finding deeper meaning. Since once you go through Scorpio, and it doesn't matter if it's Uranus, just period. Once you go through Scorpio and you pull all the things up, Sagittarius is looking from a bigger picture and being like, okay, now that I know what I know, what can I do with this information? And that's Sagittarius. What can I do with the information now that I'm aware and I know what I know? I'm not opposed to discovering more. When we talk about high frequency, high vibrational Sagittarius energy, I'm not opposed to getting more knowledge, seeking more knowledge, being open and receptive to new works and new knowledge. But you know what I mean? What more can I pull out from this? You know what I mean? So, you know, Sagittarius also too doesn't like to do things the old way. It's not Capricorn. You know what I mean? It doesn't like to do things the old way. It likes to think of new ways to do things. It's unconventional when it approaches things. It will study. It's not opposed to studying how things have been done, but then again, it wants to transmute and transform that energy into something new, something that's beneficial, something that challenges the mind, something that is fueled by fire and passion and moving things collectively forward. Okay, so it says, I put traditional views, and I put the X, understand, but nah. You feel me? Like, let's find a new way. We can understand what we knew. We can understand what we knew before. But now we need something different. Now we need something that's going to put the sauce on that thing. You feel me? A fresh perspective. So this is my analysis of Uranus and Sagittarius. We're going to be moving on to Uranus and Capricorn. And we're going to be finishing out this week with Uranus and Pisces. So I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning, but you can definitely check out that patreon.com. We will be dropping patreon.com/Araneae Storm. All that information below. We will be dropping the first Patreon video next week for the Pisces new moon. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. I think that's next week. Y'all know that. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Y'all already know what it is. Araneae Storm checking in, checking out without motherfucking doubt. I'll see y'all soon. Deuces.